And here's the music. See, it's like classic rock, and you just can you hear it? The drum, like
Oh yeah, yeah, I can hear it.
some people say you can't, but see, then you get pumped. It's I want to hello, everyone, and I want to say welcome. This is another episode of Pinky's Powerhouse Productions podcast. My name is Tanya, aka Pinky. When life kicks you in the gut or slaps you in the face, how do you get back up? What motivates you or inspires you to find the passion and energy to fight and be heard? Taking back your life and then showing others how to inspire and reclaim their power. Let's dive in. This week, we have guests. We have George. We have George Soto from the Big Gay Picnic, and he's fantastic. So I can't wait to introduce you to George Soto from the Big Gay Picnic. Hold on for just one moment, please. I totally forgot music. We got George. We want to welcome George. Thank you. Hold on. Yes.
Thank you. Hey everyone.
Thank you, George, for coming.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me, and I'm humbled to be here. I've seen some of the other guests, and I'm my hope is I can contribute, even if it's a little bit.
Well, everybody in our community is powerfully strong, and so everybody's done something. Like, okay, Big Gay Picnic is obviously a big feat, but before that, your elected proud a powerful part is that you are a San Diego native and also bilingual and Tijuana, San Diego, which is a big, powerful part of our community being strong and starting off with coming into the community that's the double powerful thing. So how did that impact you to bring into building the Big Gay Picnic? Start off with like school and high school, and how did that shape you to where you are today?
So I did go to high school in Tijuana, actually.
Yes.
So it was a magnet school, so it was bilingual and all that. Mascot is Jaguars, so go Jaguars. So and then from then on, I did some university also in Tijuana, Mexico, in the University of Baja. When I was done with that, then it's when I moved to San Diego in about 2005. And I do remember that I was still not really out of the closet. I was just trying to figure things out. And I thought that living for years in TJ and then moving over to San Diego, I moved to Hillcrest, got an apartment there. And I thought that, okay, now I can reinvent myself, so to speak, and start my life as an adult fully out and not trying to do the whole closet thing and all that stuff. But I do remember the first time I tried to go to San Diego Pride Parade, I was too nervous, too anxious. I didn't even go. I got ready, was sitting there, and I could even hear the music and stuff like that, 2 blocks away from all that stuff. And I was too nervous because I wasn't sure. Okay, where do I belong in this San Diego LGBTQ plus community? Who am I? What's my role here? Who are my friends? What's my tribe, so to speak? And I do remember having a lot of anxiety. So now, like being in the middle of doing things like the Big Gay Picnic and stuff like that, it's kind of like a total 180 from where I started, trying to find yourself, reinvent yourself, to be your authentic self, and especially
It
in this
took a minute
community.
for you to come into your own, to figure out
Correct.
your direction and find your power.
Yes. So I remember when it comes to the LGBTQ plus community, I remember first joining. Some of my friends encouraged me to join an OUTLOUD Sports, um, one of the sports leagues here. Playing dodgeball or kickball and stuff like that. And at the same thing, I kind of went the first time, and then I didn't sure. I'm not sure if I wanted to come back because I was never really a sporty person and all that stuff. And but it seemed like a good way to make friends and all that. Because so many times you can just meet people and you don't hang out enough to be able to go over the surface things and actually get to know each other and be like, oh, maybe at first you're like somebody gives you a bad impression or you give one to them. And so, for example, in sports, when you're in a team, because you have a common project, you gotta keep hanging out. Then they get to know you, and you get to know them beyond that, and it gives an opening to become friends as an adult. It's so hard to make friendships where you're an adult, because everybody's so busy and the whole thing. So for me, like sports give me that, and I do remember thinking the same thing: do I even belong here? And flash forward like 5 years later, I'm here, like coaching and creating like 5, 6, 7 teams in the league. So, and inviting other people. And but one of the things that made it easy for me to recruit people is because I could reach out to them and say, hey, I know exactly where you are. You're trying to figure out how to connect with people, how to meet others, how to actually make friends. And you don't know how. And I think I told them I was big on selling them like. Come over to give it a shot, and you'll see that you'll be able to find your tribe. And I still see groups of friends that form after like the teams I created and all that, and they still hang out and all. And I take pride in that, like saying, hey, I'm making this positive impact. So my first opportunity of finding myself as a leader in the community was through sports. Because in one of the teams that I've started in a while, I was Josh Bolivar. You probably see him around. We were clashing and how to handle the team, how to manage the team. And he told me, you know what? Why don't you start your own team? So at first I took it as a kind of passive aggressive thing, but then he's like, no, let's do it. And I did. And for me in sports, it's a good way at any age to experiment on what's your leadership style. Identifying the good things and your strong traits and your weaker traits, and facing them and not be discouraged, but facing them. Okay, I'm really good at this, but not at that. And owning up to your mistakes, learning from that, and then growing and keep going. Do it better the next time and do it better. Not being afraid of making mistakes. So I definitely recommend, if you're trying to test your leadership skills, any kind of organized sport, whatever, dodgeball, or it could be softball, more serious, or something like that.
Well, even pickleball.
Or I think even the rodeo, because it's also a sport. You nothing teaches you more about yourself than that. And the tough part is that you do have to recognize, like, you'll make mistakes, and people will call you on things, and mess up. But if you hold on just a little bit, you can grow from that and do it better the next time. And so that's when that's when I felt I had, and made enough connections, and I tested myself enough to do things like, for example, when I started organizing, being the lead organizer for the big picnic, which I'm the chair of the board of the picnic now. So definitely recommend for me that when it comes to being a leader in the community, I think try out your leadership skills in sports. And we're in San Diego, we're blessed with so many leagues of any kind, from bowling to billiards to anything, cornhole, whatever you like.
Your comfortability level just builds, just jumping into it. Just
Correct.
allow yourself to fill the shoes.
Yes, I completely agree with that. And I think that if you're not sure, if you think like, hey, I want to be a leader, try there. You can have some more low pressure thing of doing it, and it's a good way to test out all your skills and figure out what is it you need to build on to be able to launch yourself into a bigger project, like the picnic or like the rodeo.
Coaching or something like that, it's all of that leads into finding people that will support you in finding what you're good at and using that to an advantage that will help bring out the better of who you are.
Correct. And I have to be honest that I did make mistakes in my leadership style, and I feel like I grew from them. Sometimes you got to learn how to handle frustration, because in any given sport, you're going to win or lose.
Yeah.
And sometimes you're not as gracious as you think you would be, and then you learn from that, and you make friends. And sometimes when you put yourself in the spotlight, coaching or being captain of a team or recruiting, stuff like that, sometimes you lose friends because sometimes there's differences, and people kind of don't feel like they have that connection with you anymore.
Well, even
So it's not a
the
straight line, yeah.
LGBT Center has the leadership programs that you can learn from and you graduate from. So you can reach out to the centers.
Yeah, that's for me that was kind of somewhat intimidating.
It
So
can be,
and
yeah.
so that's why. But yeah, I think that's also a good idea. I think that there's different ways of approaching it. So whatever your comfort level is. Um, for me, it's always been like too much of marching to the beat of my own drum kind of thing, and so that's why in this case sports works for me because I was able to do things my own way.
We can work out.
But definitely there's other more structured ways that, for example, the leadership programs, and not just the center. If the center's not your cup of tea, there's other. Again, we're blessed here with different organizations that can offer you opportunities to lead in whatever part of
Well,
the community you belong
isn't
to.
FIDA? There's all kinds of different places that offer leadership programs or different programs in your communities to offer to help rising rising stars or raise awareness in your communities.
Yes, no, definitely, and I think that when it comes to my relationship with the community, definitely engaging in sports and the gay sports leagues here. That I think for me that did change the direction of how I relate to the community and um,
Even back in the day for
whatever.
me, I did the Alano Club. I did that helped me. I mean, I wasn't sober, but I did Alano meetings, and that helped me figure out where I was for when I first came out. I did that, and then that got me into sports too. So I understand about structure, giving yourself a place to figure out where you want to find yourself in the community, to figure out how to become a leader and how more can you be better in your community to help others.
Correct. No, I definitely agree with that, and I think for anybody contemplating being more of a leader or bigger leader, is try to find peace with your strengths and weaknesses and with your mistakes. And sometimes you have a vision of what you want a project to be, organization to be, and sometimes you got to go it alone at the beginning. Sometimes you don't necessarily get the support you need. But I think if you stay, you're flexible, but you stay true to the core of your vision, you'll get there. And then get to a point where you can show people, see this. This is what I was envisioning, and then people get on board, and then you can go from there. Um, but I think don't get discouraged. Just radical acceptance. Know that there's going to be obstacles,
Yeah, I was gonna
and
say, what was
but
your biggest
continue.
obstacle in your darkest time? I mean, and what did you do to overcome it? How did it change you? How did you redefine your life?
So I think
What made you create the big gay picnic? I mean, besides coming into your own and realizing what you wanted to do and how you wanted to make it better for your community, not just for you.
well. So I've been volunteering at the picnic for a while, for a few years. So, but I haven't been. I've only been more in charge of it the last couple of years.
So you
So
stepped up, is what I'm saying. So you took
I
it and you realized you could do something better. You could do something more. Just like I want to commend you how wonderfully it was when you put us all together with the coasters, the San Diego Gay Rodeo, and there was a lot of line dancing. There was a lot of people in the park. There was a lot of go home dad for not a lot, and there was a lot of traffic, and it was beautiful.
It was beautiful, and it's it's a lot of work. No, the beginning when I was just a regular volunteer, I had ideas and started to implement some of them. But I did feel kind of insecure, like because when people start asking you and doubting the vision you have to do things.
I saw your vision. It was woo. I was like, dude. I mean,
The first time that we did the picnic the way we did it last time, there was a lot of pushback and blowback, and people are like, "Are you sure?" And getting people to support us or sponsor us, or even just moral support showing up, people would tell you like, "Well, show us the numbers, show us what it looks like, and then come back." And I'm like, "Well, I can't do that if nobody wants to step up to start it with me, right?" And the other thing is also just in the community, there's gatekeepers, and part of me, growing up in TJ, growing up here, and having to navigate different places in different situations, I don't do very well with gatekeepers. And I'm like, okay, either you work with me, or I'm going to go around you. I'm going to go over you, and I'm going to ruffle feathers. Some people are going to not be happy. But I'm going to keep asking, going to keep asking for support, going to be reaching out to different people until somebody is willing to give us a chance. So that's what it took to change over from the picnic I was before to what it is now. One of the biggest obstacles is that the the big gay picnic was seen very much as gays and male gay. And at the beginning, when I was trying to get support to change things, people did kind of call us out in the sense that, hey, is this really an inclusive place? Is this a really inclusive organization? Because people keep saying, I don't see myself there. And then I started to reach out to different organizations and say, hey, we want to change things. Would you be willing to step up to join us, to collab with us, to showcase different areas of the gay community, not just the old kind of gay perception, but lesbian, bisexual, queer, transgender.
Wanted to make sure everyone was included, and it wasn't just a gay men kind of thing. Okay, I understand. I wanted to fill it out.
And but it was tough because getting this first organization to collab with you is not easy, and then you gotta face a lot of no's. You gotta kiss a lot of frogs. A lot of people no. Yeah, so a lot of people telling you nope. And but if you keep asking, that's one of the things I learned recruiting and for the gay sports, that you'll get a bunch of outloud sports. You'll get a bunch of no's, but out of 10 you'll get 2 yeses. So you just gotta keep going until you get to those yeses enough, at least to start, and then go from there. And so just because I've done that in sports, I was able to not get so discouraged and keep going. And that's how we keep getting more collabs. Like now we have like 24. I remember at first it was tough to get even 2 or 3 organizations to come to the picnic to collab with us, just to put a booth. And and now sometimes we have to reschedule people for the next month. And I think for the main thing is that whenever you want to do anything in the community, in a different part of the community, make sure to partner up with somebody who's already there. So if you want to do something with queer women, go to organizations there and say, hey, we'd be willing to discuss with them, talk to them, and be ready for the tough questions and say, okay, you're right, I'm ready, we can do this and this, and then go.
I have an idea for you. Have you done anything for like Broadway, visionary theater, like rent and do like whatever different things? And like that would have been interesting.
So yeah, I've some people have reached out to me here and there, but yeah. So doing I love Broadway. So doing today, I'm going to see Beauty and the Beast with a friend later tonight. So Civic Theater. So yeah, no, definitely doing an artsy one. I'll write it out right now, and we'll make it happen. You'll see. We'll make it. It'll take work.
Put on once a month. Honestly, you're almost like a mini gay pride, and I can imagine because you're putting up the tents. That's a lot of work, and you're only there for like the 4 hours. That's still a lot of work, and putting up the tents and taking them down. I mean, and then honestly, having to pay for Balboa Park too. That's kind of a big pain in the butt. I mean, that's a lot of work. So bless you, and continuing that work and service in the community. That's you're doing more than what you're getting paid for in reward, and that's why I understand why you're seeking sponsorships. I've been seeking sponsorships for rodeo. I understand completely the work that you're doing. I do the same thing when I'm for the rodeo. So Hats
And
off.
no, thank you. No, hats off to you. We look up to organizations like yours. They have so much history, so much tradition. Um, and I remember like back in the 2000s where the rodeo was big, and I was so amazed and how cool it was, Lakeside and so many people going and again so diverse and everything. So I do remember very fondly their rodeo, and I am super excited and hopeful to see it back soon. Um,
We're
and I
trying.
think that's all we can do, right? So the other thing, I guess I was gonna say,
So tell me, how did you get involved? We had this wonderful talk about your. I'm 56, and you said you were 46, and you're
49.
married. 49, and you're absolutely just celebrating your 1 year anniversary of being married. How does this involve your husband? Does he help? Obviously, because the significant other always helps take some of the load off, pulling whatever. How does that work on your relationship with the Big A picnic and your 1 year anniversary?
So obviously he has his regular job, and I have my regular job as well. And I work quality in the healthcare company, and he works as a medical laboratory tech. So, and we do well in our respective jobs and the whole thing. So, the anything like the Big Gay Picnic or other big projects like the rodeo, basically are our second job, and it's a labor of love, and there it does put weight and stress,
Side
including in
hustle.
your relationship.
Yes.
So finding a balance between doing this work and a relationship uh, sometimes has been a challenge, to be honest, because of
Always.
stress, and I've talked to people like you or people, for example,
Congratulations on
for
your 1 year anniversary.
thank you. I talk to people like you, like people like Great Outdoors San Diego, other like camping group, also has been around for a while. And sometimes you get a
Projects.
point where you do have your significant other saying like, okay, who you're married to, me or your project, be it the picnic or the
You're
rodeo or
married. I'm
whatever
married
it
to. I'm married to rodeo. Yeah, and I may not have a partner, but I'm married to rodeo.
is. So something that comes up, and so it is tough to because it's a labor of love, and I think that funny you both can work together. And one of the things that I've learned from people like you, other organizers and other events, is to establish boundaries on what you can do, what you cannot do.
Yeah.
And that's been very tough because I'm Gen X, so it's like raised by boomers, so it's like you go all in, all out.
So
And
go big or go home.
exactly. So, but I have been attention to the millennials and to Gen Z, to the kids. They're very good about boundaries. So that having volunteers and working with people from the other generations like millennials or Gen Z has really helped me kind of grow as a person as well. So it's not just looking up to your elders, which I do, and to your peers, and in my case, Gen X, like you or myself. But they also have a lot to teach you. So that's one of the good things also about being an organizer, being a leader, that you work with different people in different generations like closely, and then you can pick up some of the great things that they do, and kind of improve to your leadership style and organizing style better. So definitely learn from that.
So I know that you are also putting on a big gay picnic right before Gay Pride too. So that's where we're going to see you next, right? You got one pop up before,
Well,
and
the the our regular picnic cycle starts again for the last 4 months of the year on in August 2nd. So most of the board, including myself, were on a summer break. And so one of the other things we have learned to do, take breaks in between events. But our DJ, he asked if he could do like a mini picnic. So he wanted to do a pride. So this one is going to be just very simple, just DJ booth and a potluck table, and that's it. And
oh, so it's
just
simple. That'll be easy. All right, so just come out and dance. So that's kind of
yeah,
cool.
just yeah, exactly, just just chill vibe music, and that's it. So very
That's not
old.
kind of cool. Then it's basically going to he use one little tent and he puts it up himself.
Correct. So it's like I told him I was like we do need the break, especially my
Yeah,
husband.
I
I was
know
like
you
okay, we
guys.
need
You guys do a lot of work. That's a lot of work putting up those tents and stuff.
so and and plus all the behind, so the people don't see so the behind the scene organizing,
Yeah.
getting all the collabs together, getting everybody to because everybody has different agenda schedules and everything, run a show, all the materials, getting everybody together, and marketing and all that stuff. um it's a lot of work that goes into it. It could be really stressful, so so that's why it's important to every so often take a break. Plus for us, we said, one of our mottos is pride all year, not just in
Well,
July
how long have
for
you
San
been doing
Diego.
the Big Gay Picnic now, right? It's been 2, 3 years?
Yeah, 2 years in this capacity. But before that, I was it was another 4 years, 21, I think, when it was smaller. So and but definitely being in charge of the event planning and all that stuff, it's a whole other
It's been two
thing.
years for you being in charge.
Yes. So and so organizing and consolidating everything and formalizing, because before we were more informal, now we're not unincorporated association, so it's a little bit more formal, a board and all that. So going from a committee to a board, that was a whole other work, getting bylaws and all that stuff in place. So a lot of admin work and volunteers and board members and all that.
Are you full
So
501c3 status now?
no, we're just an unincorporated association. So and then from there, you could do a fiscal sponsor, under another established nonprofit, and maybe in the future, with any luck, we can become a nonprofit. But for now, we're just like they call a UA, an unincorporated association. So we're semi-formal at this point still, and so we're trying not to. We're growing fast, but we're trying to not get ahead of ourselves.
Navigate, figure out where you want to go from here.
Yeah, exactly. So and where we're going to go from there. And one of the things I did want to mention is that one of the things that that did push me towards taking on the top role and the picnic was the last election, because the country kind
Political
of,
climate.
at least in the federal level, went way more right wing conservative and all that, and what comes with a lack of hostility to our community, especially transgender folks or trans brothers and sisters. And so I felt myself, and I talked to my husband about this, that we have a choice to either be cynical and be upset all the time and be obsessing over the events and all the thing, or take that energy and focus on something we can do. We can't fix the country, but we can, can we
Well,
affect
you want to
positively
do something
our
positive because really it's
correct,
basically smoke and mirrors. They're trying to explain something that you either just make you get upset, and they're doing something behind the scenes that they don't want you to know what they're doing. So you want to
cor-
do focus on something that you can at least have a positive impact on, and at least be a positive impact.
yes, for
Yeah.
example,
So
when they're cutting back funding for testing or whatever, well, we can't change that, but we can have testing, invite healthcare organizations to do testing in the picnic, for example, like, so have access to
free
that.
HIV testing, yeah.
Correct. Or, we can't necessarily affect directly laws that may discriminate against transgender folks. But we can lift them up and make them visible so people know that they're just members of our community and they're amazing. So, but that's what we did, like the trans picnic last year, and this year, which is one of our biggest events. Yeah, because it's like visibility, and in one of the biggest, most amazing parks in the country. People being openly who they are in a happy, welcoming environment. Just at least a moment to live the best lives. So for me, that's what kind of pushed me, and so
In a
drives
welcoming,
me to keep
comfortable
doing what
environment.
we do to make to give our community visibility, not just in Pride but all year round. That we're still here, we're still queer, and we're not just like hiding in the bars or whatever. We are in the daylight, in the middle of the day, at the center of our city, um, still being visible and also living our best lives. Getting their energy, and give some respite. So because it's not all like, yes, we got to protest, we got to do activism and all that, but sometimes taking a moment to to just enjoy
especially
being
politics.
yourselves.
Make sure you're filling out your ballots for this fall, and
Correct.
because I'm in Arizona now and you're in California, but make sure you're filling out your ballots. You know what I mean? For just every vote counts.
So it's always good to continue that tradition from the old days. When they say that you know protest during the day, dance all night, and then rinse and repeat, so to speak. So also uh, do take a moment to live your best life in between the struggle.
Great
And
advice
not just the struggle itself, but
for
try to keep rounded in all the aspects of our lives.
That's great advice. Great advice to give to other people. Thank you for joining us, George. For the next episode, I'm working on a couple people. I'm still trying to get Gabby. I'm trying to work on Sally Hall. I'm trying to work on
Oh, I love Sally. She's amazing.
My comedian friend Cassidy Staines, and then I'm also trying to work on Horchata. So I'm working on a few people. So I don't know. I'm just putting it out there. So if they know, then I've already asked them. We're just waiting for them to say yes. So, hopefully, anyway, we hope that you walk away inspired to create the difference you want to see in the world. Remember to share the love. See one, do one, teach one, lead one. You are not alone. Pinky's Powerhouse Posse grows with every new listener. Join the tribe. Follow us on Instagram and subscribe to YouTube. Again, I want to say thank you, Jorge. I'm sorry, George. Thank you very much for being here with us today.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you for your time. And we love you with the Gay Big Picnic. And thank you for being an awesome contributor and role model in our community. We cannot stress enough how much love that you share with us.
Thank you.
You're amazing.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone. And just remember always that average people with a lot of passion can do great things.
Share the world, share the love.
Thank you.